Hello and good evening, kids. It's Mr. Wonderly's Neighborhood. Nah, just kidding. Making a little joke off of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But seriously, I talked to a couple of people, namely my son, who didn't know that was behind me. Another friend of mine pointed that out, Sean. Shout out to Sean for noticing that. Good job. You got to guess the score for the upcoming game, though. You got to participate, Sean. Participate. I'm calling you out. By the way, if you want to donate to the Crimson Club, if you want to help our youths be even better than they already are, contact the athletic club, the ticket office. You know, they can get you hooked up with some tickets if they have some for the game this Saturday night, and they can also answer your questions about Crimson Club donations and all that kind of stuff. It's a great way to be a true and complete fan and to support Utah athletics. So, okay, this video is all about Utah versus Stanford. That'll be after we get back, but first, a couple of bit of housekeeping pieces here. First of all, like and subscribe. Right down there below. Hit that subscribe button and that like button. I'm two or three away from 200. Come on, man, get me over there. Okay, enough of the antics. The other bit of housekeeping advice is tomorrow night at the Huntsman Center, the John M. Huntsman Center. We've got game number 2 this season for our running Utes, and we are playing UC Santa Barbara. If you didn't there wasn't a lot of you who went out to the game on Monday night, so, you know, you could very well be one of them. And I'm saying if you were one of the people that didn't get a chance to see the game on Monday night, I highly recommend coming out and watching the game tomorrow. I think we're going to be much improved, especially athletically and size-wise and such, over last year's team. I think they're going to be fun to watch, and they'll really be fun to watch grow. So come and enjoy the growth and the progression of this team, because I think they'll do pretty decent this year. And I think, you know, as we watch them through till next year, I think we'll see some of our young players just really start to blossom. So come on out to the Huntsman Center. I'm in Section N. If you happen to see me, say hi. Give me a go, Utes. Flash that U. Always flash the U if you happen to bump into me. I have bumped into a couple of people randomly who have said, "Hey, I know you. You're the dude. You have that YouTube channel about the Utes." And, you know, so it's cool. It's fun. Let's talk about the Utes, whether it's on here or anywhere else. But for now, let's enjoy these highlights, and I'll see you on the other side.
For a first down. Nice there. That's the shot I'm talking about. There it is. Over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. Devon Belay. That's beautiful, man.
I'd give Carlson a touch on the block. Carlson from deep, and we're tied.
Got the win. This is a victory lap of sorts for the super senior.
Ginormous double lamp.
All right, it is the last home game of the season. Breaks my heart because I absolutely love going to the games. Thankfully, we still have 2 more games after this, plus hopefully, if we can beat Oregon, and assuming we obviously beat Colorado and Stanford this Saturday, Colorado is the last game of the season, we will go to the conference championship game. And then, of course, a bowl game after that. And, you know, hopefully it's the Rose Bowl or something like that. That would be fun 2 years in a row. It's going to be tough because of all of our injuries and whatnot. And Oregon's got a lot of talent and a lot of speed. And they're playing very well right now. Bo Nix is doing very well for them. But why am I talking about Oregon when Utah is going to play Stanford? one of the cellar dwellers of the pack this year, if not the cellar dweller. Colorado, I think, has that all sewn up. But Stanford is knocking on the door. Please let me in, let me in. You don't want to go in, Stanford. You do not want to be in the cellar. But please accept another loss this Saturday happily. Hopefully a beatdown. Just enjoy it, because you know it's part of your journey. So let's look at a few stats here. This is going to be a quick video, so watch the whole thing, please. No highlights because this is a preview video. But so check this out. Man, I forgot my glasses. They're over there. I'm not going to go get them. I'm just going to roll with it. So let's have a little comparison here. First of all, Stanford does hold the ball just a little over 30 minutes a game, but they don't do a whole lot with it when they have it. They can move the ball okay, not that great. They just can't score a lot. Their average points per game is 22.6 points a game, as compared to Utah's 39.2. So we've got them by about 17.6 points a game there. As for pass yards, very close, very close. 2,307 for Stanford and 2,288 for us. Now, the difference is that we're just a balanced team to begin with. We have good balance in our offense, and you know, we proved that we can live or die on either one, because USC, we had an average rushing game, 135 yards or something like that, but we had 415 yards passing. We had a little more than 135 yards rushing, maybe 151. But at any rate, we had a lot more yards passing, 415. Conversely, with the bad weather and with Cam, still, being a little rusty and overcoming that knee injury and whatnot against Arizona, I think we had 151 yards passing that game and 306 yards rushing. So, yeah, I mean, we do what we need to do and what's working. We go with what's working. So we're at 2,288 yards a game for the season passing, with 254.2 yards per game through the air, and they're 256.3, just about 2.1 yards more than us. The difference is, as I started to say, that they are typically playing from behind, so they're using the passing game to try to catch up. Of course, they're not doing that because they're only averaging 22.6 points per game. As far as rushing, they've got 1,084 rush yards on the season. That's not very good this far into the season. We've got 1,822 by comparison, and we're at 202.4 yards a game. They're at 120.4 yards a game rushing. So total yards per game, they're 376.8, and we're 456.7. So basically 80 yards per game difference for us. That's, like one nice drive and a touchdown. Except it's more than a touchdown because we're a lot more efficient at scoring. We score 2 touchdowns and a field goal more than they do, actually. So considering that, actually, I said 17 and a half. We're about 16 and a half. So 2 touchdowns and not quite a field goal, with only 80 more yards a game. So anyway, expect that we should dominate them. Even with our injuries, I think we'll dominate. Here's another key stat, and that's turnover ratio. Stanford is minus 13, and we are, oh, did you see that? And we are plus 9. So hopefully we can get that up to double digits. Hopefully we can not turn the ball over at all. Hopefully Cam has the rust all off. His knee's feeling a lot better. He can do what Cam normally does, which is run the ball if necessary, and also throw a lot more accurately, because usually he's pretty darn accurate. I don't expect to see Dalton Kincaid. Now, Witt did in his press conference on Monday, Witt did say that they hope to have Dalton Kincaid back this week. I wouldn't plan on it. I think my guess is we're playing Stanford. We probably don't need him to beat Stanford. So my guess is that he's probably going to sit out this game with an eye toward coming back as healthy as possible. He's not going to be near 100% because of, injuries that just don't heal that fast. But he is probably going to be back as healthy as he's going to be against Oregon. And we'll need him as healthy as he can be against Oregon. Now, in the bowl season, who knows how that'll work out. I could, if it's not a big bowl, I could see him even just skipping it altogether, because I think he's proven himself and just trying to get healthy for like pro day. So if he needs I don't know if he needs a surgery or not, whatever, but I could see him just trying to get healthy for pro day and the combine and all that kind of thing. He got invited to the combine last year, so I'm pretty sure he'll get invited again. This year's even been better for him. So he is the #1 ranked pass catching tight end. So there's that going for him. So we'll see. But I wouldn't plan on Kincaid. The interesting thing is to see is going to be, is Jaquindon Jackson back? Let's hope he's back from injury. I'm not planning on it because that shoulder looked like he was hurt pretty bad when he went down. Jaylon Glover got banged up, but I haven't heard nearly as much about him in terms of the talk of him possibly having to sit out a game. In fact, Witt talked about how they want to utilize him more because of the game he had last week against Arizona. So hopefully he's back and as healthy as he can be. Not too much in the way of remnants of that, whatever he did to injure himself. And then it'll be interesting to see the kind of role that Tavion Thomas plays this weekend. Again, I'm expecting, with dry weather, albeit cold, I'm expecting to see more of Devon, more of Money, and probably even a little bit more of Jaylon. I think they targeted him a couple times last week. He had one nice catch. He might have had two, but he had one really nice one for about 19 yards that helped him pick up a first down after it was like 2nd and 17 or something like that. So expect that. I would not be surprised at all to see another sighting or two of Nate Johnson. It was a breath of fresh air to see last week. Man, the kid's got some wheels. Heard he's got a nice arm, although I don't expect him to throw any. I expect, kind of a wildcat package like he did last week. And I expect our defense to show up and do well. We got a lot of TFLs. Hopefully force some turnovers. We forced a lot of fumbles last week. Of course, last week's weather conditions kind of played into that, so that certainly probably helped us out a little bit. I would like to see us pick up an interception or two. Clark Phillips hasn't had one in a while. I don't think Broughton has one all season long. Zamiah Vaughn had 3 pass breakups this last week, so he could be getting really close to not just breaking up the pass, but maybe stepping in front of one and picking one off, and maybe even taking it to the house because the dude's got some wheels. So it'd be fun to see something like that. I think last week we had Jonah Ellis had a really good game at defensive end. Of course, Van Fillinger, that's how. So the media pronounces it Fillinger. Coach Witt pronounces it Fillinger. And so I think Witt probably knows how to pronounce it, so we'll go with that. But he announced that he's out for the season with a lower leg injury that happened in practice. So bummer, because he was really starting to play pretty well, I think. So I think those are the things I'm looking for. Let's see, I looked up Washington State's score. They beat them 52-14. And so there was a lot of turnovers, I think, in that Washington State game. I think they had a pick 6 or 2 or something like that. So there's that. But I think at least one pick 6. And so, I don't know, score-wise, I expect to be in the 40s. I don't think Stanford's defense is all that great, and I think you know, we're going to always look to not run up the score, but you know, put some points on the board and do what we can to kind of show who we are. And so I'm guessing, I'm going to say, let's say that we get a field goal 2 weeks in a row. Let's say we go 45 again like we did against Arizona. I'm going to say we do 45, and maybe Stanford gets 14 on us. Hopefully it's 14 or less. Hopefully they don't get more than that. If they get 17, so be it. But somewhere in the teens or below, I'd really like to keep it to single digits. And I'd really like that single digit to be a big fat 0. What are your thoughts, man? So share your thoughts with me. Let me know your score prediction. The score challenge is on. I have got to look at last week's predictions and see who those winners are. I will call them out. Sorry for the delinquency next week, along with the winners from this week. So, and Larry, you still haven't contacted me because you won it 2 weeks in a row. So let me know your contact information so I can get that to you. But other than that, let me know what you think is going to happen with the game. Who's going to be the standout star on offense and on defense? What's the score going to be? All that fun stuff. Looking forward to it. And are you going to be at the game? Tell me where you're going to be watching it from. Are you going to be watching it in a nice warm house with you know, some nice food that maybe you ordered in, or maybe you barbecued all day, you know, been smoking some meat or something like that? Tell me your menu, and I'll look forward to hearing from it. Maybe I can live vicariously through you, because I'm going to be up at the game in cold weather. It's supposed to be 21 degrees, and have no idea what I'm going to eat, whatever the fare is that I feel like eating on that day up at the stadium. But hope to see you there. If you do, like I say, come up, say hi, flash me the U, and as always, go Utes!